welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. Since I did my last book haul, these are the books I've acquired since then. Quite a lot of books to haul here for you. I know I have a problem. We're not going to discuss it. I love to buy books, okay? Literally just going to pull from the top of the pile. The first book we have is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This is the 10th anniversary edition. I actually got this from like a little bookstore local to me. I just saw it there and I thought it was so pretty. Like, we have this sprayed edges. Thought it would just be a cute little fictional Greek mythology story. Then we have From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I actually got this off of a Facebook group I'm in. I literally couldn't find the paperback of From Blood and Ash anywhere. It was only ever the hardback and I just didn't want the hardback. They were selling the paperback on the Facebook Marketplace group chat. So I was like, yep, sold. I'm buying it. And I'm super excited. I've really been wanting to get into this series. I always see so much fan art about it on Instagram. I'm very excited to start this. Let's stack the books behind me on these little parts of my bookshelf where there's nothing, so y'all can see them. Then we have Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and I got this at Half Price Books because it was like $5 and I've been wanting to read it. It's like one of those dystopian kind of books. It literally says, a world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they command to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. I thought that was pretty interesting. I love stories like this that are like a dystopian universe kind of. I've heard a lot of good things about the series. I know a book in it I think recently came out just a few months ago. I'm super excited to get into this. Then we have Her Body and Other Parties. I first heard Bella from Throne of Pages talk about this book. It just immediately interested me because it's a pretty short little novel. It's 8 short stories about just the things that women go through. I really wanted to read it. I'm very interested to see the 8 little short stories. I love books with short stories. I feel like they're perfect for getting out of a reading slump. Then we have Mother Knows Best, and I got this off Pango Books because I saw it at Barnes & Noble, but I didn't want to pay that much for it, and somebody was selling it on Pango for $5, so of course. I love the whole like villains thing that everybody's doing now. There's also that other series, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like princess stories, but what would have happened if the villain won or whatever, you know what I mean? And so this book is about Mother Gothel from Tangled, and I absolutely love Tangled, and I was so interested to read this because I loved Mother Gothel. She was such an interesting character. This digs deep into the past to find out what Mother Gothel really knows and why she believes in her heart that she alone knows best. Okay, yep. I'm just so interested to read this, and if I like it, then I definitely am going to read the other ones about the other villains. Then we have Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I will fully admit to being influenced by Sarah Caroli. When somebody is just so in love with the series, it makes me just feel like I have to read it because I have to know why you feel this way. Why do you love this series so much? I want to know. Let me know. I want to know, you know? I'm sure you've heard of Magnolia Parks if you're anywhere in the booktube, bookstagram realm, because it's been talked about everywhere, and I'm so excited to get into this book. I think I'm gonna film a reading vlog on it, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Then we have The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I actually read this in my Reading Romance for a Week video. If you want to see me read this book, then you should definitely go watch that. This is a book about a girl named Emily, and she basically lives through Valentine's Day over and over again. This was one of my highly anticipated reads for February because it is on Valentine's Day. I know a lot of people read this month. I definitely had to include it in the haul. Then we have Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm not going to even attempt the author's name because I know I'm not going to say it properly. This is about a cafe in Tokyo. Local legend says that this shop offers something else besides coffee, the chance to travel back in time. The story is just basically about 4 customers who visit the cafe in hopes of traveling back in time, I guess. But like the catch is that the trip can only last as long as it takes for the coffee to get cold. I don't know, I just thought that was a very intriguing storyline, so I wanted to read it. I also love the cover. I think it's just so cute. Look at the little cat on it. I love it, so cute. Then we have the picture of Dorian Gray. I actually picked this up at a cafe coffee shop near me. It's like this coffee shop, but it's just a giant bookstore. It sounds like Barnes & Noble, but it's not. I know these covers are sold at Barnes & Noble, but I saw that they had this there, and I really had been wanting to read a picture of Dorian Gray. Love to support a small bookstore. I'm very intimidated by this book just because it's a classic and I've never read a classic. I really need to read it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in 2023. I will read this book. And then for Christmas, my sister got me Namesake by Adrienne Young, which is the sequel to Fable, and I don't own Fable, so I bought Fable. I haven't read either of them yet, but I love how they like go together and make like a whole picture. That's just so cool. I've heard a lot of good things about this series. I'm not even entirely sure what this series is about. The daughter of the most powerful trader in the Narrows. Oh, so it's like a pirate kind of thing. And then the next book I have is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. And I can't remember who I first saw talk about this book, but I'm pretty sure they said it reminded them a lot of ACOTAR, and I'm an avid ACOTAR lover. It's like a romance fantasy about a library and a sorcerer. Sounds pretty interesting. And then I saw Olivia Reads a Latte talk about reading this book, which is called Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. And I somehow failed to realize that this is like a little story that comes off of Sorcery of Thorns. I don't know why I failed to realize that. I can't read this yet, but it goes along with Sorcery of Thorns, so there you go. Then, as I've been saying, I've wanted to get into manga, and I realized that Heartstopper is not manga, it's a graphic novel. I'm still gonna read Heartstopper, obviously, but I wanted to get real manga to, like, see the difference in the two. I've been wanting to read this manga in particular, and I found the first and second one on Pango Books, so I bought them. That is Snow White with the Red Hair. I don't know why this interests me. Maybe because my hair's red too, I don't know. One of my big things for 2023 is trying out new genres, and this is one of them. Then I got Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton, and this is a nonfiction, and I'm not really a huge nonfiction person. I don't read much of it. I read like Jeanette McCurdy's book. Other than that, I'm just not really huge on nonfiction, but I've heard a lot of really good things about this book, and once again with the exploring other genres, I thought I would pick it up. It says, when it comes to the trials and triumphs of becoming an adult, Dolly Alderton has seen and experienced it all. Everything I Know About Love is about bad dates, good friends, and above all else, realizing that you are enough. Wildly funny, occasionally heartbreaking, it's about growing up, growing older, and learning to navigate friendships, jobs, loss, and romance along the way. So it just sounds like a nice coming of age story, and she's learned a lot of things, and I don't know, I'm pretty young. I've just heard people say a lot of good things about it. The back of it sounds very interesting to me, so I wanted to give it a shot. Then your girl found the whole Twilight series hardback on Facebook Marketplace for 20 bucks. And I was so excited because I've been wanting Twilight, but it's just expensive to buy the whole series. I've never seen Twilight. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen that you would probably be like, do you live under a rock? And to that I say, yes, I do. I've never seen the movie, so I thought instead of seeing the movie now, it's already been this long without me watching it, why not read the book first and then watch the movie? And when I saw this girl selling the whole hardback series for $20, I was like, yeah, that's a steal and I'm gonna take it. Was that a bit impulsive? Yes. And I'm very excited to get into it. Let me know if you want to see a reading vlog on me reading Twilight, because I will definitely do that for you. Then I got Say You Swear by Megan Brandy, and I've heard a ton of good things about this book all over Bookstagram. This is one of the big books that is being shared on Bookstagram right now. It's a college romance, which is nice because I feel like I read a lot of high school romance, but I'm in college, so it's more fitting, And people have just said that they're just absolutely obsessed with this book. I absolutely love the cover. It is so pretty. Covers get me, okay? I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I definitely do. Then I got Frederick Bachman's And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. This is a very, very tiny novella. It's literally like 65 pages. But when I hear people talk about this, they literally say that it has them sobbing in tears after. And I'm like, how can a book that's not even 100 pages have you feeling so many emotions? You have to be a really good writer to be able to do that. I've never read any of Frederick Bachman's work, but I've really been wanting to. I've really wanted to read A Man Called Ove, Beartown, so I thought the perfect way to jump into an author is by reading a novella. And it already sounds very sad by the synopsis. It's about a grandpa and his grandson. I'm scared to read it, but also excited. Then I caved, okay? I caved and jumped on the train and I got Binding 13. And you know what? I'm really mad that I bought this now because I just found out that the discrete covers are coming out and I very much should have waited. This book, I have never seen a book with words so tiny. There's no way to possibly show you how small they are. You have to physically see it yourself, because I've heard people say this over and over again, but you know, I never really thought anything of it because a lot of books have small words. If you have bad eyesight, you might not be able to read this. Pretty intimidating, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I feel like I have to read it. Then I got Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. Can we talk about the cover for a second? Like, once again, definitely reeled me in. This is a beautiful cover, and this is just a little fictional story about these two kids, and they like make a video game or something. I don't really even know what it's about. Once again, the cover is just so beautiful. So then I got Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, and this is a dark romance. I already read it actually, but I'm not gonna give you my thoughts. If you want to see my thoughts, you'll have to wait until my February wrap up. We all know my love for the cat and mouse duet. I've heard a lot of like similarities between it and Corrupt, and the author of the Cat and Mouse Duet herself recommended this series, so I had to pick it up. I actually read it on my Kindle, but after I read it, I bought the physical copy. All right, y'all, we're down to the last 3 books. I got Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I think this is like the special cover or something. I had to get it because I love the Cat and Mouse Duet, like I just said, and I loved Haley's writing, so I wanted to pick up another one of her books, and I've heard a lot of good things about this one. I wanted to see if I would like this one. And I'm just waiting for her new book about Sibby to come out. Don't get me wrong, take your time, Haley, but I'm so excited. That's one of my most anticipated reads for this year. But that has nothing to do with this book. So I'm very excited to read this. It's been on my TBR for a while, so I'm super happy that I picked it up. Then, yeah girl started a book of the month little subscription last month because I was like, why not? So my first pick was Babel. Don't know how to say it. Babel, one of the two. And I don't know when I'll read this because it just feels like a very intellectual read, and I just need to be like in the mindset for that, you know, especially since it's like a historical fiction. Intimidated but excited to read this. And then the last book of this haul is none other than the Mindfuck series. This is a book I've been wanting to read forever. I've heard so many things about it. So many things, and this is just the big book that has all 5 of the little books in it, and it's been on my list forever, and I finally pulled the trigger. I had to buy it. It's a dark romance. Once again, we can obviously tell, one of my favorite genres. So that is every book that I have got for the past few months, and now I am on a book buying hiatus for a little while because I definitely need to take a break. I have bought a whole bunch of books, and now I have a whole bunch of books to read. I already had a whole bunch of books to read, so now we have even more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any content from me, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!